Yeah, sure.
Meet three of Ghana's brightest tech minds. In just over 2 years, David Osei, Philip Sefa and Camille Nabong have taken their web-based startup company, Dropify, from the classroom in Ghana to California's technology capital, Silicon Valley.
Actually, I've never thought of moving to the Valley as soon as this because basically we want to build a global startup company right from Ghana that is going to service the whole world. But coming to the Valley is definitely a step ahead of what we imagine.
It's a dream come true for the young techies who founded Dropify in 2011 at the Meltwater Entrepreneurial School for Technology in Accra. While at the school, the team entered into the Accra Startup Weekend, a competition for entrepreneurs.
So David approached me and said, this is the idea. He realized that businesses lose a lot of information online because of this long and scary contact form. And I realized that it's a huge potential for it.
The idea became Dropify, an online tool that helps businesses sort customer feedback sent through a company's website. The tool analyzes demographics, industry trends and emotions behind the messages, which can help companies better understand and respond more effectively to customers.
So when a business logs into their Dropify account, the first page they see is a lot of metrics for them to understand what has been happening for the past 30 days. So they get to see the number of new messages they have, the number of messages that have not been resolved, and then they get to see the sentiment of all the messages that have been coming in. We analyze the tone of the text that the customer sends. So whether customers are getting angry or happy or it's a neutral sentiment, you get to know all of that.
Dropify also taps into social media platforms so companies can have a broader customer reach.
We have the person's social media profiles all lined up here. So this gives you different channels that you can even contact people from. So I can just go to this person's Twitter profile and tweet to him, or maybe send him a Facebook message, and this makes multi-channel communication, very easy for you.
Dropify won the Accra Startup Weekend and received their first batch of funding for the company.
And we came out as the winners of it, particularly because we were able to convince about 20 companies in Ghana to become paying clients of the service. So we went back to classroom, and the lead investor, your online engine, called us and said, guys, I want to fund you guys out of the 2-year program. We're just 3 months in the program.
It came as a surprise to us, but we took the challenge and we believed in ourselves that we could do it.
Dropify also took first place in the Global Startup Open competition in 2012 and won the top prize funded by the US-based Kaufman Foundation. The team flew to Brazil earlier this year to claim that award and met David McClure, the founder of 500 Startups. About twice a year, 500 Startups picks a group of about 30 companies to fund and bring them together for a 4-month business-like boot camp. From marketing strategies to sales tactics, companies learn how to grow their business and attract investors. Osei didn't hesitate to lobby McClure.
Well, I particularly was impressed by David and him coming up to me and really kind of trying to pitch me on something that maybe was a little bit of a long shot. Initially I was really cautious about, okay, what's this guy from Africa doing in Rio trying to pitch me? And then it was like, well, I'd sort of heard of the accelerator before, so we knew they were kind of legit. The product offerings sounded pretty much on target with our investment philosophy.
McClure accepted their pitch and they became the first African company to be part of the 500 Startups family.
We've done about 500 company investments overall in the last 3 years. Probably about 100 to 150 of those have been outside the U.S. We have made one investment in Nairobi in an incubator, but this was the first investment directly into a company that was out of Africa.
The company now has more than 6,000 clients in more than 30 countries, and they hope to expand their company globally with the skills and knowledge they've acquired from the 500 Startups program.
5 years from now, we should have an IPO. Yeah, so we saw the Facebook IPO last year, and it had a ridiculous valuation. Yeah, so we are looking at an IPO. Acquisition will be fine, but our immediate goal is actually building a sustainable product that's going to deliver continuous value to our business. So currently we are focused on the US and the international market, the US, UK, Canada, but in a couple of years we want to become the SaaS leaders in Africa.
But in spite of creating a successful international startup, the dynamic trio plan to give it back.
What we plan to do is be able to raise enough money, as Camille said, like from 500 to 1 million to scale our services. So it will create opportunity for people back in Ghana and other African countries, so that it will be a motivating factor for other African students or individuals who want to start their own business.